This truck I'm introducing late on the channel. I've owned it for a couple months now. I picked it up for $1,500. It's a 1986 F250 with a 351 two-wheel drive and an automatic with AC. I was told that it had been sitting for about 10 years. It was an older gentleman's daily driver truck, and I heard he used it for hauling horses. There's also a neat little sticker on the back. There's American Quarter Horse Association member. It's pretty neat. The bed's filthy right now, full of junk. I didn't put any of this in here except for this old chair. But it does have the fifth wheel attachment to it, which is underneath that tire right there. The truck is really, really clean. I mean, it's been repainted once before. You got a little bit of rust bubbles right there, but that's no big deal. But that's typical on these bullnose Fords. But yeah, clear coat's just toast. It is done. I've done quite a bit to it since I got it. It did not run, and I think I know why it was parked, and I will show you that in a little bit. But for this old truck to still have these hubcaps on it, you know an old timer owned this thing. And for them to be in great shape as they are. And while we're down here, just look at this frame. Like, you just got just a little bit of surface rust on it. It is clean. It is super clean. I was told it has 51,000 miles on it. I'm thinking it's 150, but 51,000 right there. You know, it's only 5-digit, but still, this interior is absolutely clean. I mean, the only bad part about it is right here where the old timer was sitting, and it stretched obviously. But I just stuck this on there temporarily. I don't think I'm going to keep this, but underneath of this, it's nasty. We live in South Carolina. South Carolina sun is brutal. But these doors close so easy, so nice, unlike mine over there. I mean, you got to slam mine. But that's legit 141,000 miles on mine. Another F250 with a 460 and a 4-speed, 4-wheel drive. That truck's not going anywhere, and it has AC. So let's pop the hood here and I'll show you what I was saying, why I think it was parked. And right now I'm doing a gas tank. So do this one-handed. There it is. Small block Ford 351. Says right there, if it'll zoom right. Whatever. It says 5.8, 351 with cruise control and the factory AC. So that truck there has a dealership AC option, which it has a smaller compressor. This has the bad boy. And believe it or not, like I said, this truck has been sitting, to what we believe, 10 years or so, and the AC works. Now, I'm gonna knock on metal because I don't want it to not work, but it works really good. It actually works better than my Mustang. It's instantly cold. I gotta drive my Mustang like 5 minutes before it's cold. But right now, I put just a cheap Edelbrock. I actually found a pull-apart. I got it for 35 bucks. On electric choke, and I'm going to change that because this is gonna be a great truck for somebody. I mean, this truck just starts up and runs, and it runs great. And it's really sad that this truck was parked for so long. But it's back on the road as it is now. I just need to fix up a couple little things, put the new gas tank in. Right now, here's my gas tank. But as I was saying, I got a little off track. Reason why I think it was parked, it originally had a Holly on it. And it was just, I think the needles were stuck or they were sticking or something, and it just constantly kept flooding out. And then, you know, when I was messing with it, it was a freaking water fountain. It was awful. So instead of spending the money getting a rebuild kit and all that, because those things are expensive, and I actually did buy one, and it was the wrong one. It's really confusing. I think it was the 4180C was the carburetor that came on these 86 F250s. And, you know, I looked at it, I was like, that looks like just a regular, you know, vacuum secondary, you know, single pumper, you know, 4180 or something like that, or 4150 or 4160, whatever they called them. But so I picked up the kit for that, and the gaskets were almost all wrong. And I'm like, let's just put this back. I don't want to do this. I said, I got a carburetor that's been laying around and I know it's good, and so let me just throw that on. So I did that, and no more water fountain. This thing runs and idles great. Just it needs a choke for cold startup, so you're not revving it to the moon and whatnot and trying to keep it running. But other than that, this is a solid truck and going to be a great truck for somebody. And I look forward to taking you guys along, putting this thing back on the road. So to go through, I have done a couple things, as I said. Start with the interior. I did pick this up. I don't know. You guys let me know. I mean, it looks okay. The color's off a little bit, but I mean, it looks better than having all this crack, and like where the speaker was up here, it was just a gaping hole. Like I said, from the South Carolina brutal sun. But I mean, it's a clean truck otherwise. It was missing this armrest, and I picked up one of those. Then, as you know, I'm putting a gas tank in. It didn't have a latch, now it has a latch. What else? I think that's about it. And the carburetor, obviously. So I don't know if this radiator's any good. It does have a little bit of water in it. I am going to change this vacuum pump because it is got all kinds of noises, vacuum noises. You hit the brakes and it sounds like it's hissing real bad. So I already bought one of those. I need to replace on that. Master cylinder is leaking in the back, and when I actually got this, let's see if I can pop this open one-handed, not smash my fingers. Let's see, it's still got fluid in it, which is good, but as you can see in the back, it's kind of hard to see. It's a little wet right in there. It's wet, so I think this thing's shot. I actually have another one for it. I've already cracked these off, and they're not welded shut, and it's not twisting the line, so that's good. It's going to be easy to replace, and that's just a nightmare. I hate doing that. I have one of these. I have a master cylinder, and I have a brake booster. About to do that as well, and I'll bleed the brakes and all that fun stuff. I've already changed the plugs. I ordered plug wires. I have a new cap and rotor for it on the way from Summit Racing. I went out and bought a brand new carburetor with an electric choke. It's just another Edelbrock or Edelbroken, whatever you want to call it. When it comes down to it, I know it came with a Holley, and I love Holley. But when it comes to daily driven cars, and I have experience with this one, Edelbrock is the way to go. If it's not a race car, something that you want to rev super quick, and you know, I'm sure there's ways that you can tune Edelbrock to be just as good or better, or whatever, you know, whatever your favorite flavor is, whatever, it doesn't matter. My experience, daily driven, Edelbrock is the way to go. If you want to go fast, rev quicker, Holley, or you know, get a Demon or a Quick Fuel, whatever, you know. But Edelbrock's typically the daily driven way to go. One more thing I almost did forget is it's down here. Probably not going to be able to see it, but you barely see it. I have put a new fuel pump on it. The truck that has been sitting for 10 years, it probably needed it anyway. So that has been done as well. One major issue is with this, and why I wanted to change on the gas tank. I smelled inside of it. It was nasty, and I've had old cars sit for a long time, and I know that it's just best to just get rid of that gas tank, and they're cheap enough anymore. I think this gas tank here, brand new, and I just picked up at O'Reilly's and I had like a $5 coupon or $10 coupon, and it was like $130 or $140 or something like that. That's nothing. So after I pulled this out, I was going to reuse this sending unit, and also the gas gauge didn't work too. So I was like, you know, I need to replace on the sending unit anyway. But dang, that's not good. That is not good. And that is not good. That don't even smell like gas. So we're missing the float, which is now a sink, and there's holes in this bad boy here. So that's not good. There was definitely water in this thing. Over here, for whatever reason, you cannot pick these up at the local parts stores anymore. You have to order these from, you know, Rock Auto or LMC or something. And I don't know if this was just a one-off thing for the 351 trucks or not, or if that's been replaced on before, but that's a 2-prong. And I kept finding 4 prongs, and I'm like, man, I don't want to figure out which wire goes to the sending unit and all that stuff, and I don't want to figure out what these other 2 go to if the truck doesn't originally have it. So this sending unit is the same exact one that's in there, but if you look online, this is for an F250 or an F150 with the inline 6, but it's the same exact one with the 2-prong. So I don't know if somebody's got their information wrong, or if they don't have any information on the 351 trucks, or if this was just a special one-off thing on this truck. I don't know, but pay attention to that, because there's like 4 or 5 different sending units. You know, these trucks did have 2 tanks, but this has just a 19-gallon tank. These here too, your filler necks, don't get those at the parts store. They're like 4 inches too short. Order those off of like LMC Truck or something. They're expensive, and they're garbage quality too. But if you need a replace on that, which I probably should on this one, but if it ain't leaking, I ain't changing it. We're gonna stick this guy in and send her on back home. One really important thing to do if you're putting a new sending unit in, or you just have to take it off, period, just go ahead and get this new seal. These new seals are super cheap, and it's gonna help you not smell gas or see gas on the floor, especially as expensive as it is now. Just go ahead and replace this cheap $5 seal at least. You know, don't worry about getting this, but, unless you bend it, but just get it. It's super cheap. Just like that, it's ready to go back in. Like I said, I hope this doesn't leak, but the aftermarket ones are just garbage anyway. It's just, if that one doesn't leak, I'm not replacing it. But if it comes down to it, it's real easy to get to, and it'll take you 10 minutes. Let's put it in. Here's what we got to do. There's just 2 straps right here. There's the other one down there. And then there's your 2-prong plug I just got resting up there that will plug into the sending unit. And then you got your return and your feed line up here. So once we get these bolts in, should be pretty much plug and play, and put some gas in it and try and prime it, and hopefully I'll get rid of that little 5-quart jug as its fuel tank right now. Had to take a little break, had some stuff I had to do. But now we're in the evening time, and it's all set up, brand new. Put some fuel in it, get rid of that 5-quart jug. We'll see if it runs. So now the lines are all buttoned up, we can get rid of this 5-quart fuel tank. That's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling. Alright, let's put some gas in it. I only got about 1 gallon in it. I don't know if that's going to be enough to prime it, but we'll see what happens. Stick this guy on here. Twist on the key. See what happens. Might be enough. That wasn't bad. That was so easy. That was so easy, I can't believe it. So I don't know if it fixed the gas gauge or not. So I need to put some more gas in it, we'll find out. So that's good news. That was so easy. I've never had a gas tank prime that quickly. That's awesome. So that's going to do it for this video. On the next video, I got some engine parts I think you guys want to stick around and see install. And we're going to clean this thing up a lot. And we're going to make this thing look good. So now that it runs good, we're going to make it look good. So stick around for that on the next video. And also, we're going to be putting this thing on the road. We're going to go up and down the road, make sure this thing shifts in all gears before this thing goes to the new owner. So if you guys like content like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Take it easy.